Jeff, I guess exciting for Perth and as a former player and coach, great to see World Cup matches being played at the Wacker.
Yeah, definitely. I think, especially the teams that we're playing against, India, West Indies, I think they're two really highly ranked sides in the World Cup. So, I think it's really exciting to have those two teams playing at the Wacker.
And I guess a rare chance to see the Aussies in action in a World Cup match in your hometown.
Yeah, well, that's right. And I think it's going to be a really interesting Australian team they picked. There's a lot of players out there playing really well at the moment, and I think the selectors are going to have a really tough time to pick a really good squad for this World Cup, and to be playing at Perth on our wicket here, a bouncy fast wicket against India, is going to be really exciting.
And I guess you'd like Australia's chances then. Got a great World Cup record anyway, let alone playing here.
Oh, definitely. I think Australia are going to be very strong, but I also think New Zealand are going to be very strong, playing the number of games that they will be playing in New Zealand. But when you look at their side now that they've formed over the last couple of years in a lead up to this World Cup, it's a very powerful, well-balanced side. So they'll be tough to beat. Of course, India, they're just a stack of talent. West Indies will be good. England will be very good. I think they'll come back a far better side than what they left here a few weeks ago. So, I think it's going to be a really even competition, and I think the teams just get that momentum towards the end will be hard to beat.
You played in a World Cup win. Is it something you look back on at the end of your career and something that you're even more proud of after you retire?
Yeah, I think obviously it's everyone's goal in life is to win a World Cup if you can, and be involved in that. And that was right at the start of my career with Australia, that we won the World Cup in Calcutta in India in front of 100,000 people. But it was the start of really what I think was the Australian team becoming the strength it is under Bobby Simpson, and we didn't have a lot of big names in the side, but we just gelled really well together, and our fielding won us the World Cup in '87, no doubt about that. So from there we just built on, but then obviously winning one as coach was also really special. A little bit more nerve-wracking because when you coach, once the players go out there, you've got very little control of what can happen, but to win a World Cup at Lords was really special for everyone in the team and myself.
I was going to ask you how it compared as coach. Is there a bit more pressure, or the fact that you don't have as much control?
Well, I think just you do all the work up to it. You sort of run all your planning meetings and you do all your training, and you get them to where you think they're feeling really fresh and ready to go. But in a game of cricket, once the players walk out on the field, there's very little you can do, and it's up to the players. So even in the World Cup, when we're only chasing a very low score, and Gilly went out there and he was hitting them all over the ballpark, I was down the back there hiding, just hoping that every time the crowd went up, there wasn't a wicket, that it was another 4 or 6.
We can't let you go without talking about Sean's latest achievement. Is there a tear in the eye when you watch your son score a test ton like that?
Oh, I was obviously pretty happy with it. I mean, he'd been through a lot in the last 3 or 4 weeks in getting selected, then getting left at home because of his injury, and then playing in the big, having to get fit for the Big Bash and wanted to play in that final, and then getting the call up, and then finding out you're playing 3 days after. So it's quite a tough couple of weeks, but he was really excited about it, and we're obviously really pleased for him.
Were you emotional?
Oh, a little bit, yeah. I think you do when you get a test 100, and just Justin Langer was telling me what his dad got up to when he got 100, so I think we're all the same.
What were you getting up to?
Well, I was just sitting there watching very quietly.
And I guess his initial selection copped a bit of criticism in the East, everyone focusing on statistics. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I think Sean would be the first one to admit that, going into it, his form in 4-day game wasn't great, but his form in one-day cricket was very good against England, and, he's playing very well in the Big Bash, and, I think it was just horses for courses, and he got the nod, and he backed that up with performance in the game. But what it's all about now is consistency. You got to do it for a long period now. And the main thing for him now is just keeping fit and staying on the park and working hard.
Were you worried about he might have taken some of that criticism to heart?
No, I think he's sort of been used to it over the last couple of years, and that's what it's all about, playing at the top level. With social media these days, it's in your face all the time. So. I don't think they take it as serious as what we do, but he just knew that he just had to get out there and focus on what the job that Clarkey wanted him to do, and he did that. So I'm very pleased for him.
And I guess Australia's top six is far from set in concrete, so you just hope he can hold his spot.
Yeah, I think I think you're only ever as good as your last innings. So he knows that like every time you go out there to bat for Australia, I think everyone in Australia knows that you're expected to perform, and that's your job. And but it's also about just relaxing and enjoying your cricket and playing your natural game. And I think that's where Darren's really good at working with the boys. So I think that's the important thing.